Yo, what is up, everybody? Today we're back with another video. It took so long. It was sorry for not posting that much. I was grinding for another video, and this is just a filler video, so I can get. So why not? We're gonna do a Poppy Playtime Hunger Games because we're doing with FNAF. There's nothing real. I just try to do the real one. Doesn't even. There's no 6 views. That's crazy. We're doing Poppy Playtime because Chapter 5 came out like a month ago. Let's go. Alright, we got District 1, Huggy Wuggy, and Mommy Long Legs. District 2, Player and Doughy. District 3, Poppy and Kissy Missy. District 4, the prototype Harley Sawyer. District 5, Miss Delight, Lily Love Braids. District 6, Dog Day and Catnap. District 7, Bunzo Bunny and Chum Chompkins. District 8, Giblet and Hoppy Hopscotch. District 9, Baba Chop and Simon Smoke. District 10, Brawn and Candy Cat. District 11, Yarnaby and Boxy Boo. District 12, Pianosaurus and PJ Pugabiller. Let's proceed. Holly Sawyer finds a bow and some arrows in the quiver. Doughy runs. Giblet finds a bow. Some arrows in the quiver. Yarnaby runs. PJ takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. How did he do that? But we're not going to question. The butcher runs away. Simon finds this bag full of explosives. That makes sense. Mr. Life runs into a cornucopia and hides. Lily and Chum fight for a bag. Lily gives up and retreats. Catnap runs away. Mommy grabs a shovel. Huggy runs away. Candy Cat runs away from the cornucopia. Bunzo runs away. Hoppy runs away with a ladder and some rope. Boxy Boo grabs a jar of fishing bait while the prototype gets fishing gear. Okay. Kissy runs. Pianosaurus stays in the cornucopia. Braun rips the mace out of Poppy's hands. How is that possible? Poppy, you have a skill issue. Baba Chops gathers as much food as he can, and Dog Day runs away. Candy Cat injures herself. PJ Pugabiller catches Kissy off guard and kills her. Dee Dee picks flowers. Yarnaby bleeds out due to untreated injuries. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh my god. Simon and Chum work together for the day. Boxy Boo overhears Catnap and the prototype talking in the distance. That makes sense. Lily and Doughy split up to search for resources. Baba Chops kills Giblet for supplies. Yo, what? The butcher and Huggy work together for a day. This makes sense. Hoppy sprains her ankle while running away from Brawn. Pianosaurus, Miss Delight, Harley Sawyer, Mommy, and Poppy hunt for other tributes, and Bunzo tries to sleep duty the entire day. 3 candy shots can be heard. Kissy, Yarnaby, and Giblet. Yo. Catnap receives medical supplies. Poppy begs for Boxy Boo to kill her. He refuses, keeping Poppy alive. Braun receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Doughy and Pianosaurus run into each other and decide the truth for the night. Candy Cat lets Mommy into her shelter. The butcher is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Yo, Lily kills Hoppy with a sickle. Back to back! Miss Delight stabs PJ in the back with a trident. Simon goes to sleep. Dog Day receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Huggy tends to his wounds. Baba Chops passes out from exhaustion. Holly Sawyer attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Bunzo cooks his food before putting his fire out. Chum cooks his food before putting his fire out. My bad. But the prototype thinks about home. Huggy, Boxy Boo, Mommy, and the prototype raid Simon's camp while he's hunting. Catnap goes hunting. Candy Cat questions her sanity. Bunzo and Miss Delight threaten a double suicide. It fails and they die. Okay? Poppy travels to higher ground. Pianosaurus is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Holly Sawyer, Dog Day hunts for other tributes. The butcher receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Yo. Yo, no, I can't do this anymore. Braun sets an explosive on killing Baba Chops and Lily. Yup. Chum receives fresh food, and Doughy picks flowers. 6 candy shots. Hoppy, PJ, Bunzo, Miss Delight, Baba Chops, and Lily Love Braids. That's awesome, bro. Who has the most kills and that is still alive? No one's abroad. Braun has 2 kills. A dinosaur has 2 kills. It makes sense. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense. The butcher's trap kills Candy Cat. Oh, okay. Chum, Huggy, Simon, and Doughy tell each other's ghost stories to lighten the mood up. Yeah, that's gonna definitely lighten the mood up, guys. Dog Day attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Braun and Pianosaurus talk about the tribute still alive. Catnap cries himself to sleep. Okay. The prototype sets up a camp for the night. Mommy fends Harley, Sawyer, Poppy, and Boxy Boo away from her fire. Anyone console this girl, except for Poppy, because she's buns. Zoe searches for a water source. Mama receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. That is awesome. Poppy makes a slingshot. The butcher steals from Harley Sawyer while he's in looking. That is definitely a good idea. Dog Day practices archery. Braun, Simon, the prototype, and Catnap hunt for other tributes. Chum chases Boxy Boo. Huggy injures himself. Pianosaurus discovers a cave. Candy Cat. That's awesome. That's awesome. Chum passes out from exhausted. Poppy starts a fire. Catnap tries to treat his infection. Braun, the butcher, and Mommy cheerfully sing songs together. People who are still alive. Makes sense. Dully tries to sing himself to sleep. Simon begs for Dog Day to kill him. He refuses, keeping Simon alive. You know, Dog Day wouldn't do that. Dog Day wouldn't kill anyone, even if it's Simon Smoke. Harley Sawyer receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Pianosaurus tends to his wounds. Boxy Boo goes to sleep. Huggy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor, and the prototype tries to sing himself to sleep. Mommy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Braun begs for Harley Sawyer to kill him. He refuses, keeping Braun alive. Whoa. Catnap, you got some explaining to do. Simon diverts Poppy's attention and runs away. Yo! What? Huggy kills Doughy with his sickle? Pianosaurus severely injures Chum and leaves him to die. Pianosaurus got his... I don't know anymore. Dog named the Butcher split up to foresee... Oh my god. Split up to search for resources. The prototype discovers a cave. Doughy and Chum. That definitely makes sense. It doesn't make sense. District 6 and District 4 still have their tributes left. That's surprising. Who has the most kills? Of course, the Butcher has 1 kill. He's literally named the Butcher. I'm surprised Catnap hasn't got a kill. Same with the prototype. Even Huggy Wuggy has more kills than the prototype. Isn't that convenient? No, Braun has more kills than the prototype. Simon, Poppy, Mommy, and Catnap and the Butcher sleep in shifts. Braun thinks about home. Harley Sawyer cries himself to sleep. Dog Day tries to treat his infection. Boxy Boo receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. The prototype defeats Huggy in a fight but spares his life. Bro, why is prototype so soft? He would definitely stab Huggy Wuggy and leave him out to die. Pianosaurus Death climbs a tree to rest. The prototype overhears Dog Day and Boxy Boo talking in the distance. Huggy diverts Catnap's attention and runs away. Poppy scares Harley Sawyer off. Braun, the Butcher, Mommy, Pianosaurus, and Simon hunt for other tributes. No one died. That's weird. This is weirder than some Hunger Games. Are we not gonna get a 5 to kill 1 person? Are we not gonna get that in this video? If you know me, I've got it done every single video. Braun and the Butcher run into each other and decide the truce for the night. Poppy defeats Boxy Boo in a fight but spares. Can you just imagine right now? A 3-foot toy defeats this thing in a fight. Yeah, what? Dog Day is awoken by nightmares. Huggy bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Mommy dies of dysentery. Yo, I finally know what dysentery means. Oh my god, it means you can't go to the toilet that much. Mommy needs to go to the toilet. Pianosaurus, Simon, and Harley Sawyer discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Catnap receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor, and the prototype starts a fire. Harley Sawyer and Pianosaurus hunt for other tributes. The prototype attacks Braun, but he manages. Does Braun just have plot armor? Dog Day, Poppy, and the Butcher and Simon hunt for other tributes. Boxy Boo discovers a river. Catnap fishes. Huggy and Mommy, wondering why they're all from District 1. I think they just... I don't know anymore. So we have the Butcher, aka the player, Poppy, the prototype, Harley Sawyer, Dog Day, Catnap, Simon Smoke, Braun, Boxy Boo, and Pianosaurus still alive. Okay, you know what? That's not bad. Harley Sawyer receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Dog Day and Simon run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Poppy and Pianosaurus sleep in shifts. Boxy Boo and the prototype run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Catnap sets up camp for the night. Braun receives an explosive and the Butcher quietly hums. The Butcher makes a slingshot. The prototype tends to Braun's wounds. Simon overhears Pianosaurus and Harley Sword talking in the distance. Catnap attempts to climb a tree but falls to his death? What? Dog Day kills Poppy while she is resting. Yo, Dog Day. Yo, Dog Day. Bossy Boo dies from hunger. That makes sense. Bro, they're toys. You do not need. Okay, Mommy did die from dysentery. Okay, she died by not going to the toilet that much. So it makes sense. Why did they die from hunger? Catnap, Boppy, and Boxy Boo. back to back is crazy. The prototype hasn't made his move yet. I wonder what's his next move gonna be. Someone kills Simon Smoke. I don't know why. I just have some beef. I'm joking, but like I feel like the prototype is going to kill Pianosaurus. Imagine I get that right. Pianosaurus, never mind. Holy Sawyer taints Dog Day's food, killing him? Yeah! Okay. Braun stays awake all night. The Butcher receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. The prototype begs for Simon to kill him. He refuses, keeping the prototype alive. I know why Simon Smoke didn't want to kill you. Look at this thing. This thing is like impossible to kill. He survived like so many things, bro. The cornucopia. Harley Sawyer destroys Braun's memorials out of spite. What? The prototype and Pianosaurus work together. Never mind. They work together to drown Simon Smoke. Oh my goodness. The Butcher decides not to go to feast. That's a really smart option. Harley Sawyer receives medical supplies. Pianosaurus is pricked by thorns. Braun cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. The Butcher receives clean water. The prototype dies from thirst. What is this? Dog Day, Simon Smoke, Braun, and the prototype. How do you die without getting a single kill? Never mind, he did get a kill. Wait, what? How? What? Oh yeah, Simon Smoke. Pianosaurus has 2 kills. Yo, Pianosaurus might get his revenge, but the Butcher and Harley Sawyer, those are really hard competitors. I'm not even joking. They all sleep. Pianosaurus camouflages himself. I think I know why. And Harley Sawyer attacks the Butcher, but he manages to escape. Of course he did. They all chief. No, you guys are getting. I thought you guys were supposed to attack each other. You guys are getting together. All of you. That's weird. Pianosaurus makes a wooden spear. Harley Sawyer decapitates the Butcher with the sword. Oh, what? The Butcher. There's no way Pianosaurus wins. Never mind, he doesn't win. Pianosaurus bleeds out due to untreated injuries, and Harley Sawyer is the winner. Dude, like, we have to think for a moment right here. What? Yo. You know, let's do that again. You know what? Sure, why not? Go simulate again. Let's see if more people are gonna die like Mommy did. Oh, Hoppy runs away. Catnap runs away. Dog Day finds a bullet and some arrows in the quiver. Bap Chaps snatches a bottle of alcohol in a rag. Mommy runs. Bunzo runs away. Braun runs. Yarnaby takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Giblet runs. Mr. Lay and Kissy fight for a bat. Kissy gives up and retreats. PJ runs away. Chum grabs a sword. The prototype takes a sickle from inside. Dilly runs. The Butcher runs. Poppy runs into the cornucopia and hides. Candy Cat runs. Pianosaurus runs. Harley Sawyer runs. Lily clutches in first aid kit and runs away. Huggy runs. Simon runs. And Boxy Boo runs. Bobber Chops bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Alrighty, bro. Huggy receives clean water. Poppy goes hunting. The Butcher goes hunting. Simon and Pianosaurus track down and kill Harley Sawyer. Yo. Yarnaby, Chum, Boxy Boo, and Catnap hunt for other tributes. Bundle steals from Mommy while she isn't looking. Dee Dee, I was about to say something that I should not have said. Dog Day searches for firewood. Giblet tends to Doey's wounds. Candy Cat, Kissy, and Lily hunt for other tributes. PJ Pugapillar is unable to convince Hoppy to not kill him. Yo. The prototype overhears Braun and Mr. Light talking in the distance. Bobba Chopped, Harley Sawyer, and PJ. That is awesome. Poppy, Bunzo, and Mommy cheerfully sing songs. Candy Cat, Braun, Simon, and Yarnaby sleep in ships. Chum passes out from exhaustion. Huggy climbs a tree to rest. Mr. Light's trap kills Kissy. Okay. Dog Day, Doughy, and Giblet discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Catnap and the Butcher huddle for warmth. Okay. How do you do that when his arms are attached to a grab pack? Look at that. His arms are attached. That doesn't make sense. You know what? Whatever. Boxy Boo, the prototype, Poppy, and Pianosaurus sleep in ships. Lily looks at the night sky. Huggy overhears Yarnaby and Dog Day talking in the distance. Mommy tries to spearfish with a trident. Mr. Light scares Brana. Bunzo, Bunny, Bunzo, Candy Cat, Candy Cat, Candy Cat, Candy Cat, Catnap. Oh my god. Doughy and the Butcher hunt for other tributes. Lily explores the arena. The prototype turns to Simon's boots. I think he would just stomp him with his leg. Giblet questions his sanity. Hoppy's camouflages herself in the bushes. Chum receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Boxy Boo tries to sleep through the entire day. Pianosaurus injures himself and Poppy goes hunting. Kissy. That's the only person that died. Bunzo is awoken by nightmares. Doughy tries to sing himself to sleep. Chum quietly hums. Lily tracks down and kills Hoppy. Yo. I think Lily's going out for the really weak ones, and I think Hoppy is one of them. Braun quietly hums. Boxy Boo receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Simon receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Mr. Light cooks her food before putting her fire out. Huggy convinces Candy Cat to snuggle with him. Out of everyone, you choose Candy Cat? Poppy and Giblet fight Pianosaurus and the Butcher. Pianosaurus and the Butcher survives. Giblet and Poppy are dead. I thought that does not make sense. Okay, maybe for Pianosaurus, but the Butcher. I thought you're friends with these guys. What? Prototype thinks about home. Dog Day attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Yarnaby tries to sing herself to sleep. Catnap questions his sanity, and Mommy is awoken by nightmares. Braun defeats Huggy in a fight but spares his life. Lily, Candy Cat, the prototype, and Pianosaurus raids Bunzo's camp while he is hunting. What did Bunzo Bunny do? The Butcher attacks Miss Delight, but she manages to escape. Dog Day searches for firewood. Boxy Boo tends to my bad. Dog Day. It's not Dog Day! Dog Day's right above! It's Doughy! Yarnaby tries to spear Foots with a trident. Simon, Catnap, and Mommy hunt for other tributes. Chum makes a slingshot. Hoppy, Poppy, and Giblet. Hey, Hoppy and Poppy rhyme. That's awesome. Like, no one died. No one's dying. Like, only 6 or 7 people died. I'm not even joking. 6 or 7 people died. Look, 3, 6, 7. 6, 7. I hate my life. The prototype tends to his wounds. Doughy and Catnap hold hands. Boxy Boo quietly hums. Candy Cat convinces Snyman to snuggle with her? Somehow, that worked. Okay? Mr. Light cooks her food before putting her fire out. Chum starts a fire. Braun sets up camp for the night. Bunzo lets Huggy into his shelter. Dog Day and Yarnaby tell stories about themselves. And Lily, the Butcher, and Pianosaurus and Mommy sleep in ships. Bunzo runs away from Candy Cat. Lily kills Simon while he is resting. Mr. Light travels to higher ground. Huggy discovers a cave. The Butcher chases Mommy. You know what? If the Butcher was chasing me, I would run away too. Yarnaby receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Catnap goes hunting. Chum tries to spear fish with a trident. Dog Day, Pianosaurus, and Braun unsuccessfully ambush Boxy Boo, the prototype, and Doughy, who kill them instead. Yeah, if you're going against Boxy Boo, the prototype, and Doughy, yeah, you're dead. When you're Braun, Pianosaurus, and Dog Day. What? Let me guess the kills. Doughy kills Pianosaurus, Boxy Boo kills Dog Day, and the prototype kills Braun, because why not? Simon, Dog Day, Pianosaurus, and Braun. Alright, now we have more people. Doughy has 3 kills. Oh my god. And the player has 2. That makes sense. Boxy Boo has 3. Oh yeah. The prototype also has 3. So they all went one at a time. They all went one at a time. Namgyu and Myung-gi style. Boxy Boo attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Bunzo destroys Mr. Light's supplies while she's asleep. Chum quietly hums. Huggy lets Catnap into the shelter. I'm gonna cough myself to sleep. Let's Catnap into shelter. I'm sorry if I'm being cringe. I don't know if I'm being cringe. Yarnaby, Candy Cat, and the prototype sleep. Lily thinks about home. Doughy attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. I can't say unsuccessful. Mommy goes to sleep. The butcher tends to his wounds. Catnap injures himself. Mr. Light camouflages herself in the bushes. I don't know how this thing is gonna camouflage themselves, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Mommy camouflages. Okay, again, how is this thing, this big creature who literally can take half the space in my house, is going to freaking I don't know what to say. I forgot. Boxy Boo fishes. Dolly receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Yarnaby camouflages herself. Bunzo forces Chum to kill the butcher Lily. Of course he decides to kill Lily. Lily Love braids your buns. Dude, no one wants to kill the player, bro. Bunzo Bunny. Really not. Chum Chompkins. I mean, it makes sense. They're allies, I think. I never watched or played Chapter 5. Please do not judge it. Stop going that. Huggy cooks food from a tree. The prototype tries to be a fish with a trident. And Candy Cats pick back thorns while picking berries. Lily. Deli and Mommy tell them stories about themselves to each other. Boxy Boo screams for help. What do you think, Boxy Boo? Mr. Larry passes out from exhaustion. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna just speed run this. Okay, Prototype and Candy Cat tell stories. Huggy thinks about home. Canada thinks about home. Chum begs for Yarnaby to kill him. She refuses, keeping Chum alive. Yo, never mind. Bunzo Bunny sets the butcher on fire with a Molotov. So Bunzo Bunny killed the butcher anyways. So first of all, he forces Chum to kill Lily Lovebraids or the player, and Chum kills Lily Lovebraids, and then he just said, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself, and then just sets the player on fire. What? I guess the Bunzo with Bunny really hated those two people. Yo! Huggy sets an explosive about killing Chum, the Prototype, Mommy, and Yarnaby. Why am I going back? Mr. Light, Catnap, Candy Cat, Bunzo, and Boxy Boo hunt for other tributes, and Dilly receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Okay. 5 people died. The butcher, Chum, the Prototype, Mommy, and Yarnaby. I guess everything is going to plan whatever Bunzo Bunny is doing, bro. After the butcher dies, he just immediately goes for Chum Chompkins. And then immediately Chum Chompkins dies. Is this all part of his plan? The Puggy Wuggy has 4 kills. Yo. How did they kill the Prototype, bro? He survived an explosive and then he dies. Canner screams for help. Bunzo attempts to start a fire, and he dies to Doey. Anyways, Huggy Wuggy gets his food poisoned. I think that's what taint means. I don't know. Boxy Boo stays awake all night. Oh my god! Candy Cat loses sight of where she is. Mr. Light accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. You're so butt, Mr. Light. Candy Cat, Bunzo, and Doey get into a fight. Doey drives and he kills them both. Oh my god! Boxy Boo does not go, and Catnap does not go. It's Boxy Boo, Doey, and Catnap left. This is what a trio. What a final 3. Catnap overhears Doey and Boxy Boo talking in the distance. 4 people died. Huggy, Mr. Light, Candy Cat, and Bunzo. Oh my goodness, man. Doey has 6 kills! Oh my, there's no way he doesn't win this. I mean, Boxy Boo has half of his kills, and Catnap has none. Dude, there's no way he loses this. If he actually loses this, I'm gonna crash out. If he somehow detonates landmine, I don't give a hell. He's coming back to life. Catnap quietly hums. Boxy Boo loses sight where he is. Doey looks at the night sky. Catnap, Doey, and Boxy Boo start fighting, but Doey runs away as Catnap kills Boxy Boo. Okay, there's no way Doey loses this. Boxy Boo. Oh my, that's not funny. That's not funny. I mean, it is a fictional character. I can laugh at it all I want. Don't do this in real life. Catnap cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Catnap, after you had a chance, after you killed Boxy Boo, you just committed suicide so Doey wins? Doey wins. Wow. That was a really crazy thing. Catnap was second place with 1 kill. That's awesome. Alright. Bye. I guess.